What is up, everyone? Man, I ain't gonna lie, I almost didn't do this. It was storming his behind off earlier today. Like it was like literally like maybe about a good hour ago. It was just pitter pattering down. I guess I'll start this off. But first off, it's been a crazy week. Ridiculous, y'all. As you can obviously tell from I'm gonna be a little glitchy, but that's only because the weather outside is literally frightful. It's terrifying out there. The skies are looking great. It looks like how it did when Hurricane Betsy Barrel came. Barrel. But yeah. Okay, so I'll start off with some personal news. Nothing's really happening. I almost, like I said, I in the process of me trying to like pay off my bills and pay off my debts and pay my bills and things like that, I'm realizing just exactly how little I earn. Cause like I said, I paid most of my bills, or at least I think I did, and it's like now all of a sudden it's like, hey, now you owe us more money. It's like this is the kind of stuff that makes me realize that like capitalism isn't good because of the fact that it's like I work, I pay my bills, and now I owe more money. You know what I mean? It's like how does that work? Like how does this numbers thing actually work? Like it like I said, can we just end corporate price gouging, please? Can we end corporate price gouging? Can we regulate corporations and make it so that they can't price gouge anymore? Because of the fact that it's like I could understand if I was not doing anything. But I am working while actively trying to get another job. I'm working a job already while trying to get another job, while trying to get a better job, while also doing this, while trying to do content creation as a side hustle. My content creation as a side hustle is not working. I can't do Grubhub, not Grubhub, what is it? I can't do the Uber the delivery driver thing because I don't trust the car. It is and I mean it's very I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. And I want to just go ahead and take this time to point out real quick. I do not like corporations. I do not like big businesses. I don't like I don't like what corporations have done to America. But I'm very much, but it's like while I work for, I work for a corporation though. I work for the shoe company that I work for. And, clearly while I'm not a fan while I'm not a fan of corporations, I also don't like the idea of people just randomly going into where I work at just to steal shoes. Like stealing water, I get. Everybody's thirsty. If you're thirsty, water shouldn't cost money. You know what I'm saying? I feel like water shouldn't cost money. It's like water, shelter, and education should probably like be at least the three things that probably shouldn't cost anything because you can learn stuff without going to school. You know what I mean? You can get water. We could harvest rainwater if we really wanted to. And what I said. What's the third thing I said? Like shelter. You can literally. You could create shelter. Which, by the way, we kind of need to start learning how to do because the way these housing prices are going. But I'm at this point right now in my life where I'm just starting to say, it definitely does feel like it's. It definitely does it sends a really bad message. You know what I'm saying? That the only reason why you come to the store is to steal things, specifically like clothes and shoes and stuff like that. Which it boggles my mind. Like you already go to the store with clothes. Why do you need more clothes? You don't need shoes. You know what I mean? Like you didn't come to the store barefoot. You didn't come to the store with socks on. You came to the store with shoes on. So you can't. So you ultimately just wanted to steal more shoes. It's just like it's very annoying to me because it's like it's like one of the things that really kind of hurts my feelings about my job is that like I have to profile my own people because a handful of the people who come in stealing is usually people of my persuasion, and it bums me out because in my brain I'm like, oh man, we better than this. It's like on one end is like, please stop shoplifting. Just like you're enriching yourselves by making the workers suffer a little bit because every single time because the majority of the times when somebody shoplifts and it's like granted you can't really do anything about them shoplifting. They run off with you. You can't like chase them or nothing, which makes sense. You don't you don't want to turn it into a spectacle because spectacles only get bigger. The thing only gets worse the bigger they become. Whereas but it's still but on the other hand, Nike also shouldn't be like charging so much for shoes. It's like I 100% understand. I'm well aware of of the context that comes with other things and stuff like that, and like corporate price gouging just needs to stop. If you want people to stop stealing, make stuff affordable. It's just that simple. Or pay people more money so that they can afford to get the thing. Like something's gotta shake here. Um, I just really went. I really said I was gonna start this off by being like saying some personal stuff, and then I started like just ranting about corporations. Okay, but yeah, though. But it does kind of bum me out. Like speaking of my job, obviously I like to think I'm getting more hours and stuff like that at my current job, but it still kind of bums me out that it's like it really just at this point now I'm working my current job just so I can as a waiting period towards my next job because I'm really trying my best to get another job right now and nobody's calling back. Or rather, it's like like I said, I'm told that I have a job, and it's like I guess I gotta wait because it's hurricane season, and you got like all of these storms coming in and stuff like that, and it's like I can work in the rain. I've done it before, plenty of times actually. In any case, though, like I am. In any case, though, I mean, like in other news, uh, I really don't want to immediately go straight to politics. I don't because like I feel like there's much more important things to talk about than politics. But currently, right now, there isn't. Okay, uh, like I mean, Joe Biden did a terrible job at the debate, and people was like, "Hey, you suck at the debate. You should like not run for president." And he's like, "Okay," and he's like, "Okay, all right, Kamala, you can run for president for me." That's basically what happened. And Kamala Harris is now becoming, like they're saying. I mean, he endorsed Kamala Harris, but like it's still kind of a toss up as to who the nominee will be. It is a toss up to who is going to be the person to actually run for the Democratic Party. So it could be. I mean, it could still be, Gavin Newsom or other people, as long as it's not Joe Manchin, because I don't want Joe Manchin to win. But I want to go ahead and just take this time to point out real quick. I myself don't. I don't really have a political party. I obviously you obviously if you see my last few videos, you know that I do have a bit of a take as far as my politics is concerned. My personal politics is like first off, I'm not a fan of weed. I'm not a fan of abortion, but I don't believe that simply because I'm not a fan of these things, nobody else should have them. I just know for a fact that I would not have them. But for people who need them, by all means, get them. I shouldn't be. Me not liking something shouldn't stop you from getting the help that you need. But I will say I'm not a fan of abortion. I'm not a fan of weed. But if you need it, please get it. You know what I mean? But that's kind of like one take on it. I also believe regulate corporations, get rid of tax the crap out of rich people. Um, you know, like make sure that white supremacists should be thrown in prison. Like not killed. I mean, although that wouldn't be a bad idea, but I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying like if they were to have their lives ended, or well. But the fact of the matter is that like white supremacists should be like put into position. They should be put like in the situations where they shouldn't interfere with everybody else because time and time again in America especially, white supremacy has basically been the reason behind a lot. Like literally every single step up that we have had in American history has been to challenge white supremacy. Every single good thing, majority of the good things that happened in America was to challenge white supremacy. If you really think about it, like look at the history of anything that you would consider to be at least good in America, and like look at its history. It's literally white supremacists probably didn't want this thing to happen. It happened anyway. Boom, suck it, white supremacists. Fast forward a few years later, now white supremacists are trying to either A, take it for themselves, or B, claim that it was them who motivated the thing all along. Rinse, repeat, blah blah blah. But yeah, once again, like white supremacists, so as I obviously can tell, I'm not a fan of white supremacists. But so my political takes are pretty simple. Let me go ahead and explain. Um, decolonize fandom, um, challenge and tax the rich, like regulate corporations, do something about this ridiculous. Wow, did it get darker in here? Regular also challenge the stock market. You know what I'm saying? Stock market shouldn't be as powerful as it is. Like there shouldn't be anything in America that should be like it's been proven that we should not have anything that's so powerful that is just incapable of actually facing any kind of repercussions. Because whenever anybody gets that kind of repercussion, that bad things happen. Once again, like I don't know if y'all I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's really getting really bad over here. Um, but yeah, man, so, and also I want to take this time to point out real quick. I'm not voting for anyone. I'm voting against Donald Trump. Because like at the end, in the greatest stand of everything, it's never been Republican versus Democrat or right versus left. It's always been America versus white supremacy, and I'm not voting for white supremacy. Mm, that's some good water, man. What else is there? Um, Also, like for the past couple of days, there's been some right wing TV shows that's been going on lately, and like some right wing like cartoon attempts at trying to make cartoons and stuff like that. And it made me think to myself, one thing you ever notice that right wingers don't talk that much about Daily Wire. Like they'll probably quote from Ben Shapiro every once in a while, but you never really hear there's been a bit of a backlash towards black women in Star Wars, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like fandom is like completely colonized, and I seriously hope that rain outside isn't drowning me out because there's a that rain out there sounds pretty heavy. But yeah, the Star Wars fandom has been really upset at the sight of a black woman because I mean, it's Star Wars fandom, and I mean, dude, just read DC Comics. Like they made Amanda Waller into like the bad person now. So, I mean, have at it. But the fact of the matter is that Daily Wire has been trying to like make these shows. There's these two shows in particular. There's a show called Mr. Bertram and another one called The New Norm. And honestly, outside of the theme song for The New Norm being a banger, at least I unironically like that song. I don't know why, but I think it's just sort of like the lyrics suck, but the melody, the new norm ain't the same as the old norm. I like it in the sense of it can be improved to be something really, really, really good. That's how I see it. It's like it's nice already, but I think it could be a little bit more. Let me go ahead and tamper with that, you know. But I've been watching for the past couple of days, just like people just automatically dunking on these two shows, just like completely just ripping them to shreds, talking about how bad they are. But and I have and like I in the process of me trying to looking for more people to just completely trash it. My algorithm is gonna probably suck now because it's just gonna be a whole bunch of random YouTube commentators just talking about stuff that I don't care about. But in the process of me looking for those things, I've been I've also been looking for people to actually uplift these shows and see if to see if they like these shows or not. And so far, nobody has. And that is kind of par for the course for right wing people, bro. Like it's been kind of crazy lately because if you pay attention, right wingers will tell you all day how they don't like Disney, how they don't like these new woke TV shows, and all they do is put black women in everything and blah 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 this and blah 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 that woke, and yet they have their own avenues to watch TV shows with absolutely no woke agenda involved in it. As a matter of fact, it actively challenges their woke agenda. It actively everything that they don't want, everything that they want to see is on these platforms, and everything that they don't want to see is not on those platforms. And you never hear right wingers say, "Well, y'all should totally watch X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, this show, that show, these shows." You know what I'm saying? Like, there's families out there who hate Bluey. You know what I'm saying? But they don't talk about Chip Chilla. There's families out there who hate the Star Wars because there's black ladies in it, but they don't talk about any show that's on Daily Wire. You ever notice that? Like, it's just wild to me. It's like there's a bit of a pattern here when it comes to right wingers. Right wingers don't like their own stuff, but they want everybody to like it. You know what I mean? It's like they got their own shows, they got their own stuff, and yet they don't even want to be involved in it. They just want to be around everybody else to bother everybody else. And it boggles my mind exactly how ridiculous that is, because it just goes to show like for them it's not even about like for them they don't even know, they either A, don't know what they support, B, are ashamed of themselves for supporting it, but just they can't, they got to hold it up to the game, they got to chalk it up to the game and just do what they got to do, what they feel is right. Or like remember Parlor, remember Parlor they actually like, bro, they had their own social media. They had their own social media thing, and they want to just. They was like, no, I don't want to go to Parlor. I want to mess with people on Twitter, and then Elon Musk just basically said, okay, let's make Twitter more right wing than it's ever been, and now people are leaving, and now they're like, no, follow. Like I said, it will always mess with me. I need to at some point get this screenshotted or something. But one time I asked, if Elon Musk is so rich and so creative and so innovative, why can't he just make his own, social media site? You know what I'm saying? Save up a little bit of money. You know what I mean? And somebody actually responded to me basically saying, if you do that, then the only people that's going to be in there are right wingers. And at some point, we're going to need some left wingers to argue against. He didn't say it specifically like that, but he just basically. So it's like even right wingers don't like right wing stuff. They don't like each other. They don't like what they support. They don't like anything, but they just want to agitate everybody else that they disagree with. They're the biggest trolls probably ever, and yet for some crazy reason they want to rule the country. Unbelievable. I hate how political this got, man. I do not want to talk about politics in this one. I basically just devoted my entire time to doing that. Also, I had a podcast website for a while. I used to have, it was a website. It used to be called Anchor, and then it became Spotify for podcasters, and now I think it's just called Podcasters. And I know I don't know enough about Riverside to actually update that. I used to update it every Sunday. And now I kind of just can't, because once again I don't know anything about Riverside. Riverside confuses me and it scares me a little bit. It used to be back in the day I could just press the little microphone button, talk for like 30 minutes, press the microphone button again, and then that's it. But now it's like I actually have to go to Riverside and do all this other random stuff and everything else, and it's complicated. And but it's like, I want to get the hang of that, because I do want to be able to go back to doing my podcast over there as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually like doing that. It's very complicated though. But so it's like at some point I'm going to ultimately do it again. Just like for those who are interested in checking it out, look for, I want to say it's called Unbalanced Minds. On Unbalanced Minds, and there was a Crim and 22AAA, but I think I called myself Manny on that one from now on. But I make it a habit to not do like display pictures, because I want my first display picture of certain things to be a logo. So right now it's just this green background with just unbalanced minds with 22AAA and Crim. But it's not nearly as ASMR as this. It's just me ranting about politics and everything else. But yeah, like I'm trying to be a content creator, just so to put this in perspective. What's really sad, the reason why I'm kind of very frustrated with this country in general, is because I'm trying to be a content creator just so I can have enough money to eat. Me starving is because people don't find me cool. And that's America. It's kind of weird, right? Love and peace, y'all. Everybody be safe out there. This weather's looking pretty bad right now.